Beautiful light here today in Laugharne. We're down in Laugharne, in Cymraeg, Laugharne, Laugharne. Yeah, we're looking over the estuary at some cockle pickers. You can see them in the foreground, which is quite unusual. You don't often see it, you know. So, but a beautiful day today in Laugharne. And we're looking over now towards the village there, panning a bit. And you can see the village in the background. And in the foreground, again, quite unusual. And when we come down here quite often, is some canoeists just coming into view there, and then we quickly pan around and you see Dylan Thomas's boathouse then, the famous boathouse where he wrote a lot of his poems. And on the far shore of the estuary, you notice there, up amongst there is the farm of Fernhill, after his famous poem Fernhill. So Laugharne here today then. Okay, so people enjoying there with the water, but yeah, very ready to see the cockle pickers, but the light is beautiful today on the estuary. As I said, you can see the Dylan Thomas's famous boathouse in the background there. We come here probably once, twice a month, and we're going to nip into town now a little bit of a meal later, so I'll let you have a quick peek of what that looks like. There's some great little restaurants in Laugharne, and as I said, behind us we've got some canoeists coming up the estuary there. But as I mentioned earlier, the light today is brilliant. My thumb in the shot there, which is schoolboy error again, but you can see cockle pickers in the background there. But Laugharne, yeah, very interesting spot there, and as you can see, perfect place for Dylan Thomas to have written some of his most famous works, including Under Milk Wood. Apparently some say it's about Laugharne, some say it's about Newport Pems, and some say it's about Fishguard. But the film in the early 1971, I believe it was, Under Milk Wood, Richard Burton, Peter O'Toole, Elizabeth Taylor, was actually filmed down in Fishguard. But apparently it was written here in Laugharne, and it's about, some say Newport, because there's a drawing of the time when he lived in Newport, where he picked out some of the characters. And a few bit of interesting points there about Laugharne. Here we are, Dylan's writing shed. Dylan Thomas' writing shed. Slight of a myth buster here. It's not the actual shed, the original, the engraving also, the original shed. And I was involved with the council some years ago. The original fell down the rocks here below, and but they saved some of the wood and some of the things like the door panel and stuff, and used it to recreate the shed. And contrary to popular belief, that the actual jacket there is not actually Dylan's jacket, but I'm sure he wore one very similar to it. So here we are again at the writing shed. But obviously again, beautiful shot here of the estuary. The light is outstanding. And walking along the trail that Dylan would have taken on his way to and from the pub, and of course to buy supplies from the village. He wasn't always just going down the pub, although pretty often I'd imagine he might have been. And looking down here then on the boathouse itself, and interesting that the steps that you see now, just gone up there, that was steps into where the boat would have docked, and it's dry today. But the actual seawall was actually open then, and high tide, the tide would have filled that area just below those steps, and that's why he's got the name of the boathouse. So they would have had a boat then and could have gone out fishing and so on. And there we are, what I mentioned earlier is the bit below the steps where the boat used to come in. Access then to the estuary and open sea and high tide. Now in Laugharne, after that little walk, enjoying a bit of Thai green curry in a small little restaurant on the way into Laugharne near the clock tower, so well recommended. Thai curry you've tasted.
Spot on.
Where are we at the moment?
Poor street food in Laugharne.
Where's Laugharne then?
Carmarthenshire.
And where's Carmarthenshire?
West Wales.
And where's West Wales?
Wales.
Cymru Laugharne. Amawi boys. You are at the graveyard now where Dylan Thomas himself is buried, and right at the bottom, which is sort of a village area, I suppose, a green area, where they're having a bit of a dog show there today. So we've been extremely lucky, I got to say, with the weather. There we are, 3 hours in Laugharne, 3.5 hours in Laugharne, been up the estuary, had a look at the boathouse, seen cockle pickers, and finished off with a Thai curry. So, well, what about that then? You know, it's supposed to be a traditional Welsh town, and we've had some Thai curry, and one of the best Thai green curries I've ever had the chance to taste, and it was in Poon's restaurant, just on the left, below the church clock, or the town clock in Laugharne, so it's worth a visit there. So that's sort of finished off the day for me perfectly. Now on to other adventures, hopefully.